Nope.
What is up, you guys? I'm James from James Reptiles, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the cost of breeding crested geckos. And this video came to me when this package worth $200 showed up at my door. So we're going to open that and we'll talk more about crested geckos and what it costs to breed them. So I have the packing slip enclosed right here. Actually $226. You know, that's a big expense. You might be thinking, why? So, right, obviously. So we deal with live animals. If you breed crested geckos, if you want to breed crested geckos, if you breed any kind of animal, we deal with live animals. Live animals eat, right? So what I got was two, what are these, 4-pound bags? Yeah, two 4-pound bags. I always get breeding formula, which is 120. Nice. Sorry, downstairs neighbors. And then I always get one other flavor. I got just the regular mixed with insects. So this one's $100, of course, free sticker. So you're thinking, well, what else? What other expenses there? You come home from work, you feed your geckos, you buy them food, and you're good, right? Not necessarily. So first off, food. I go through those 2 bags probably every 7-8 months. So you're spending at least $200 a year, more like $300 a year. I keep my crusteds, my breeders in tanks, and my babies in tubs. You gotta think about tubs. Each one of those tubs right there is like $2. You know, critter keepers are a lot more. I don't know why I have so many of those. Bigger tubs are like 10 bucks a piece. So if you want to put adults, single adults or stuff you're growing up in tubs, you're gonna need lots of those big tubs, right? You're gonna need lots of little tubs because you're gonna have lots of babies before you sell them and as you grow them out. You're gonna need deli cups. I mean, if you come in and look at my enclosure, you can see my dirty ledge. Deli cups, every week I go through probably a sleeve of deli cups, which is, you know, $3, $4, $5. Just the other day I bought a bunch more ledges because why not? I needed more ledges. And it all adds up. I mean, eventually, you know, something's gonna break too and you're gonna have to replace something. I go through lots of paper towels. Paper towels are an expense. Buying your original breeders is also an expense. Hold on, let me pick this up. If you know, start out with 2 crested geckos and you hold back females and just keep breeding with the same ones, awesome. But eventually you're gonna want to branch out. You're gonna want to get, you know, whether it's high reds or Dalmatians or something. You're gonna buy something from someone else to really help your line to really improve. You know, if you have a lot of, and I don't mean this in a bad term, garbage animals. You know, I have some that produce stunning babies, and I have ones that I'm like, I'm gonna sell that for 40 bucks as soon as I can, just get it out of here. You know, if that's all you're producing, you're only gonna produce that, and you're only gonna make, you know, $40 gecko. Where, you know, if you save that up and you buy like a nice $300 red crested gecko, and all of a sudden every couple of geckos that comes out is awesome red, you know, save a couple of those, make all your breeders red, you know, and then sell the other red babies for, you know, 100 bucks, 150 bucks, and all of a sudden you have enough to buy Dalmatian crested geckos and start a group of those. And, you know, there's all these little things people don't think about. I mean, just look inside my enclosure, you know. I got lots of leaves. People wouldn't expect it, but I've probably spent $150, $200 just on fake plants, just on leaves. You know, those ledges are like 12, 13 bucks a piece. I just bought, what is it, 2 or 3 more. The centerpiece for every tank, so they can climb around, you know, I think it's like $30. So every time I buy a new tank, I have to spend an extra $30 on that. The Tupperware that goes in the tank itself, you know, every time I want to start a new group, A lot of people keep their breeders in tubs. I prefer tanks. Every time I put them in tubs, something stupid happens, or they just don't do well. They don't color up well, and I think something about them sticking to the glass really helps. You know, if they're sticking to the container and you try to sell an adult, they're not going to stick right to the person's glass when they take it home as a pet, and they're just going to have a bad time. So I prefer the glass. It's more of an investment up front, but I think it pays off. And you know, if you're selling at shows, you want deli cups. If you're shipping, you want shipping boxes. You want tape. You're going to want a drill to drill holes in your tubs. It's all of these things that add up. You know, the drill was $130 I wasn't expecting to pay. You know, all sorts of random things. You know, I have gloves. I have toothpicks for when Pangea doesn't come through the little squeezy bottle. I'll get squeezy bottles, you know. All this stuff really adds up. And if you really do want to be a crested gecko breeder, it's actually really easy. You know, I have a lot of tools and random things that help me throughout my day in my crested gecko breeding day. You know, I have a drill in case I need to drill tubs. I have shipping boxes in case I need to ship. But if you have like a pair of crested geckos and you just want to get started, you don't need all this stuff. The only really thing you need to buy them is food. And let me explain why. Let's say you're 16. Let's say you're 16 and you want to breed crested geckos, and your parents tell you they'll buy you two. They'll buy you two from the pet store, and so they're not the best, right? So you take them home, and you've probably got some extra tubs like that at home, and your dad's probably got a drill a couple holes, throw them in there. Maybe you get some fake plants from the store, from the dollar store. There's, you know, a couple dollars, right? And then you're gonna buy food, and you can put the food, you don't even have to buy deli cups, you can put the food in used bottle caps that you wash. And your mom's gonna have paper towels, and you're gonna have, you know, Tupperware you can put the eggs in and let them incubate because you're at your parents' house, or, you know, even at your own house. Even, you know, if you have your own place and you just have things laying around that work. That's kind of a great thing about reptiles, is so many things that work for reptiles work for people have every day in their life. Just because people slowly get into reptiles, so we find ways that Joe down the street who wants to start getting into them can ease his way. He doesn't have to buy a rack system, he can just use tubs. And so you might start producing a couple, and like I said, if you get your cresteds as like a gift, it may cost you a couple bucks. You know, you're buying these little tiny 8-ounce things of food, you know, once every like month or two, and you're probably buying fake plants, and that's it, right? You're spending like $10 a month maybe on your crested geckos, and once they get up to size, they're having, you know, your females laying a clutch of eggs every couple days. Obviously, they don't lay every couple days; they'd be a millionaire. Your female's laying a clutch of eggs every month, and clutch is hatching every month, hopefully, right? You don't always count your eggs. There's always eggs that go bad. And then, you know, you learn. You might have it too moist when they're incubating and stuff like that. It might go bad. But essentially, you're going to have a clutch of eggs hatching every month. Now, if you wholesale those babies for $15, that's $30 every month, right? And how much are you spending on your cresteds every month? $10. So if you can make $30 and only spend $10, you're doing really good. And that's when you start getting into profit. Do you pocket that extra $20 and use it to go see a movie or to buy you some snacks or something? Or do you save it up, and in 3 months when you have $60 extra, buy another female? And then once you have another female, you're spending $15 a month to feed it because it's one more, so you're spending 50% more, and you're making another $40 a month. So realistically, you could be, you know, spending $15 a month and making $80 a month. I know that's crazy. I know that math isn't perfect. That's, you know, if everything goes right, if everything's perfect, right? That doesn't always happen. It's not going to happen. But that's a lot of room. And if you're, you know, if you're smart about it, and maybe you save up from your day job, you do some overtime, you do some chores, you buy, you know, those pinstripes, those awesome pinstripes, you get like a trio of them, all of a sudden you're throwing out $100, $200 babies every month, you know, consistently. That's the stuff. Those are the babies that are really going to push you forward. Because if you can make $200, $300 a month selling babies and you're only putting $15-20 of food into them, you're really going to have a lot of money to reinvest in yourself and in your geckos, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I've been doing it for a year, I saved up $1,000, cool. Go buy a trio of Dalmatian crested geckos and make $2,000 next year. Like, it's all possible. And if you have the nicer stuff, you hold it back and you breed it, and it just works out. And one thing I just thought of while talking about this that a lot of people don't take into consideration is your time. If you have 2 or 3 geckos, it's probably not a lot of time. You see how many animals I have. It takes a lot of time. It's at least 45 minutes every day, at least. And I do my best to push everything back to the weekend. If it's Friday and I'm supposed to feed some, if it can wait till Saturday, it usually waits till Saturday. If I can push it back, I push it back. But time is very important. Do you want to judge your time based on, you're doing it for free just to help yourself get bigger and better and produce more? Or are you, working minimum wage? Does it need to match that to matter to you? Do you want it to make more than your job? How much time is it worth to you? For me personally, I do it because I love it. I love my animals. I love taking care of them. I know eventually I'm gonna have to get there, and it's a slow process. I've got some nice geckos. I'm growing up a couple nice babies, and I'm slowly gonna weed out the ones that are making quote unquote trash geckos. But nonetheless, everything adds up is what I'm trying to say. So you really have to think about why you're doing it and how you're doing it when you're doing it. Breeding crested geckos does cost money, and if you want to do it like I do it, it can cost you a lot of money. I prefer to do it this way. This is just, to me, is better, in my opinion, just for what I like to do, But for you, you may be able to do it really cheap. Nonetheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. This channel is growing pretty fast. I know I haven't been putting videos out super often just because school is going on. But make sure to hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, jamesjeptiles@gmail.com. James Jeptiles on MorphMarket is where all my geckos are for sale. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.